Hello and welcome to this edition of Tigunia TipTok, where today we're going to be talking about deciphering the chart of account balances. Many of us, and especially your accounting department, are looking at the chart of accounts frequently, and there's some columns on there with totals for each account that are somewhat confusing unless you know exactly how those numbers are being calculated. So we're going to take a look at those in just a minute, but the three columns that we're really involved in are shown here on the screen. One is the net change, the balance at date, and the balance column. And so we're going to talk about what all three of those are showing you. The net change column is going to be a total of all of the transactions for that account that are included within the specified date range. And when we go over to Business Central, I'll show you where that date range is entered. The balance at date column is going to show you a total of all the transactions from the beginning of time up until the last date of the specified date range. And even if that date range is just one particular date, it's going to show you that all the transactions up to that date. The balance column is going to be a total of all transactions, regardless of posting date, even those before or after the specified date range. So with that in mind, let's go over to Business Central and take a look. So as we open up Business Central, we'll go over to the chart of accounts, and you'll see that these chart of accounts have these three balance columns. Now these are flow fields, which means that the underlying table or the number here is going to the GL entry table and is adding up all the transactions that are applicable to that. If we don't set any date range parameters here, all these numbers are going to be the same. And so a lot of times you'll look at that and you'll see the numbers are the same and not really pay attention to what each of the columns is doing. So we're going to add some date filters so that you can see how the numbers are changed. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the filter totals by. Whenever you have flow fields on a table, you can filter the totals by a specific date range or department or the dimension, but in this case we're going to do it by date range. So I'm going to click on filter totals by, and I'm going to add a filter, and it's going to be a date filter. And in this case I'm going to put in a date filter for 2016. So I'm taking a look at all the transactions in 2016. We're going to look at the checking account 10100. You'll see that as I tab out of that, all of these balances are now different. And so as we take a look at the definitions that we talked about just a minute ago and apply them here, it'll make better sense. The net change column, or this amount here for this account, is the sum of all the transactions that occurred in 2016. So only those transactions. It disregards anything before 2016 and anything after. It just shows you the net. The balance at date column, this 25,009.48, is the sum of all the transactions from the beginning of time up until 12/31/16. 12/31/16 is the end of the date range, so that's the end of the totaling from the beginning of the time up until that specific date range. The balance then is always going to be the same. Regardless of what date value you put in here, this balance is always going to be the same because it's the balance of all the transactions regardless of posting date. We can see this as we drill into these numbers. So if I drill into the net change number, you'll see that the only transactions that are going to come up are the ones for 2016. So these transactions total up to that negative 6,600. If we take a look at the balance at date and drill into that, you'll see that not only do we have these 2016 numbers, but there was also a transaction posted in 2015 for 31,000 that is now included in that total. So we'll back out of that and we'll go to the balance at date. And the balance at date then shows all the transactions, that 2015, all those 2016 transactions, plus anything after that goes into that balance. So with that knowledge, you're able to use the chart of accounts page a little bit better to give you the information that you want just by filtering on the totals and changing that total range so that you can see the numbers that you want to see in any particular time. So hopefully this helps you and your accounting department better use the chart of account table. As always, if you have any questions about this or any other aspect of Business Central, go ahead and reach out to us here at Tigunia, and we'll be happy to help you with anything you might need. Also, go ahead and click on the subscribe button so you can subscribe to our channel, and then also click on the bell icon so that you're notified of any new videos that are posted to our channel. Have a good day.